It's Tarot Tuesday, and I am on Mackinac Island. It's so pretty, obviously. Lots of water and air energy here, bringing lots of new movement and transformation. So let's get into it, all right? So we have the Soul Orchid deck, which you can pick from. I love this deck. I recently got it gifted by a member from our Patreon temple. Absolutely, probably got to be one of my favoriteest decks ever. Not just because of the texture, but just like how they talk to you. And they're always like tied to your soul and to your heart. So you should definitely pick this deck if that's where you're living from right now, like your soul or your heart. Then we have the Native American deck, my homeboys, the ones that do not sugarcoat anything for you, okay? And for these guys, this is more so just if you feel like you're not vibing in like the soul heart energy, everybody else is going to be over here. Some of you might be feeling a little bit of both, okay? And if you want to take a little bit of both, you can, all right? So I'm going to give you a second to pick out whatever deck it is that's resonating with you. Doesn't matter which deck you pick, there is something you have to work on, all right? So are you ready? Are you ready? All right, we're going to start off with the Native American deck, and we're going to start up very at the top. This spread is called the Book of Autumn, and I basically channeled this when I was starting to channel my past lifetimes, and it's a very powerful spread because it opens up lots of intuitive knowledge on different aspects of your life, and we can read this spread in a bunch of different ways. So if you haven't checked out my tarot course, you should definitely check it out because I will be showing you how to do these advanced spreads myself. And I'm just gonna like flip them all over just to have them all ready. I don't have to fight with them later. All right, ready? Great. So let's dive into it. We're gonna start off over here on this top corner, okay? So the first card that we have is the Moon, all right? So the Moon is telling you that you have a lot of magic that's coming into your life right now, a lot of transformative energy, all right? So listen to your intuition. 18 has to do with abundance and transcendence of that abundance, all right? So whatever it is that you've been asking for, it is on its way. You've already been told that from a previous reading, but it's really important to understand that like everything has its phases, everything has its cycles, just like the moon, all right? Like you don't always have a full moon that's going to illuminate the night clearly all the time or give you all the magical abilities that you feel that you deserve in that moment, because everything is an ebb and flow. Everything is a sine wave, okay? If you have a hard time understanding what I'm saying, you go up and down, up and down, up and down, right? And sometimes when you're at the very peak, you're like, yeah, everything's awesome. And then you go down and you're like, wait, I just don't feel like everything's panning out the way it was panning out in the previous moments that I was feeling at my peak. That's okay. You're going to come back up eventually. Just allow yourself to be in the moment and embrace whatever's happening right now. The next card that comes out is Death, okay? It's 13. It's another major arcana, all right? And Death is basically telling you, hey, it's time for you to understand that you are transforming beyond some sort of major limitation that you have had for quite some time. And everything has to die, everything has to rebirth. The moon has to do with a lot of energy, like magical energy being present in your reality at this moment. Death and transformation is basically telling you, hey, it's time for you to let this magical surplus of energy move all the crap that's been holding you back, all right? So this is a major message for all of you who have been doing your light work, all right? If you've been really focusing on yourself, you've been working on improving your energetic reality, trying to help people along the way, not taking other people's like issues as your own personal responsibility. And you've also understood that you can't save everyone. All you can do is save yourself and help educate others so they can save themselves. You have a very easy coasting moment that's going to be coming to you very soon. It's going to be a moment of just like, hey, I am in the flow. Everything's happening exactly the way I want it to happen. The Fool is 0. So we have 3 major arcana that came out on the first row right here, the Fool is basically telling you that you have, again, a ton of magic on your side, and the universe is backing you up, protecting you, trying to get you to the next level, okay? So you are in tune with a ton of magic in the universe, because 0 has to do with the universe, and that's the number of the Fool card, right? And 0 also has to do with space. So like you're re-changing the reality around you to produce some sort of illusion that you've wanted for a long time, a manifestation that you've wanted for a long time. It's really important for you to understand that your manifestations are essentially the illusion itself. A lot of people are told, hey, I have to work out of the illusion. You know, we live in a hologram, a matrix, a video game, whatever it is that you identify it with, spiritual technology, right? We live in a simulated reality. Okay, well, I want to manifest to make this reality happen. But people fail to see that the manifest itself is just part of the illusion. Like, it's an illusion that's made you feel like you're real. So you've been manifesting something. The universe has said with the Fool, it's coming. You're gonna have it. It's already yours. The moon energy is telling you you use a lot of magic to make this happen, and transformation is telling you you gotta let some stuff go if you really want that full manifest to present itself. Whether it's a person, whether it's your own baggage, rather it's the fact that you've been lazy. And like, it's a very powerful moment for you to understand that you are in the throes of rebirthing something, okay? We have the Lovers, and the Lovers are also coming up upside down, basically telling you that, you know, there's nothing really bad here because you're rebirthing it, but why are you birthing the things that you're birthing into your reality, right? A lot of times we say I want to manifest a bigger home for my family so that my family can like have a better life, right? But underneath that can be, I want to manifest a bigger home for that reason, but also because I want my neighbors to come over my house and be like, whoa, your house is so amazing. Like, whoa, where did this come from? If you're manifesting from some shallow, some like petty, some materialistic, ego-centered, persona-driven manifestation, if you're coming from that origin, you literally need to rethink how you're birthing your relationship with reality, because every time you create something new and you're starting to manifest something in reality, it's like two parents coming together to make a baby. It's two intelligent infinities coming together to make a third one. Okay? And if part of your intention is whole and pure but partially flawed because it's coming from ego, you're going to see that happen in your manifestation. It's unavoidable. You're going to see that your shadow is going to come back through your manifestation at some point, just to show you that you were not working from the highest level possible. Again, this has to do with like understanding that we're living in an illusion. It's happening. We can make anything we want happen. We can have the ultimate abundance in the lifestyle that we want, but it shouldn't be because of any other reason but our truest, highest, fifth dimensional perspectives, which would be operating strictly from love and light and self-fulfillment and neutrality. Okay? You cannot be envious, jealous. You can't be trying to one up anyone. You have to be able to say like, I'm doing this for me and I don't give a shit what anybody else thinks about what's going to happen with this, okay? The next card that comes out shortly after is the Matriarch of Pipes, okay? The Matriarch of Pipes is basically telling you, listen, you right now are in a position of authority, all right? You might be in a position of authority in your community. Maybe you're a soul entrepreneur, you have a soul business, and you're trying to heal people and you're trying to educate people. Amazing, great, fantastic, right? But at the same time, you need to really understand that that potential of you making yourself feel grand and more like whole has a level of vanity behind it. And that vanity has to come from some sort of lack of self-sufficiency, loneliness, or anger, all right? So the Matriarch of Pipes, she's very clever. She's got everything on lock. Everybody respects her. Everybody knows that she knows what's up, but she's not really good at letting people like really know who she is and where she's operating from the internal realms. And because a lot of the times she's focusing on everyone else and everything else that she wants, she represses her own emotions. And every once in a while, her emotions come out. They lash out like a rabid dog, and they end up creating like these very vain situations that didn't need to happen. Whether it's a confrontation with someone based off of like an inconvenience that may be happening to her, or it is just something in vanity where she wants to go splooge a lot of money, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, she has to recalibrate and rework herself into a higher position. So you need to really understand here, again, what you are birthing, it really has to be focused on. If we're looking at the moon and what you're birthing, you're using all your magic to basically birth into reality something that you're not going to fully be happy with, and you're going to be caught again trying to remanifest the corrections to this current manifest if you don't catch it right now. Death and transformation is basically telling you, get over that petty shit, get over the anger, get over the loneliness, get over whatever vanity you have towards what you're creating right now. And you might not think that you're creating from a vain point. Maybe you have been consciously focusing on just being, you know, beneficial to the collective or whatever. But wholeheartedly, my tarot do not lie. They're telling you there's something underneath there that needs to be confronted and needs to be analyzed. You can listen or you don't have to. Either way, you're going to see this come back around. We don't play. We don't have time to lie to you, okay? Now, the next card that comes up right after that is the Warrior of Vessels, okay? So the Warrior of Vessels, that's another card that's very powerful. It's basically telling you that, like, you need to relax. Like, whatever it is that you've been trying to create on this line right here, whatever you've been trying to create, since it's flawed, all right, and you have some inner work and healing that you need to focus on to like really stay in a responsible transformative phase, you need to calm down and take a break. All right, you need to be able to understand that if you constantly chug and you don't spend some time like cultivating for yourself, that you are going to burn yourself out. Whether you burn yourself out because you don't want to work with people anymore, you're going to burn yourself out in the way that you make a mistake and then you're like, crap, I have to make up for this mistake. Remember, these two cards have said the same thing already twice. You need to pay attention. Maybe take some time to just step away from whatever it is that's going on, especially those of you who are Leo and Virgo, the fire energies as well. So like Sagittarius, Aries, like all of you are going through this shift right now where like you may have become conscious that it's time to like take a break and just coast, right? Or like rethink things or change something in your life. That's gravy, all right? But you need to also understand like you are your worst enemy. Like you guys like to hustle, you guys like to get what you need to get. And sometimes you guys will like make major movements and then all of a sudden like hit this point where you have to self-destruct yourself and you have to like party really hard or whatever. Stay focused on your goal, but understand that your goal is like the moon cycles. Hello, the moon cycles. It's gonna have its ebb and flows. Like the reason why it has ebb and flows is because while you're manifesting, you're creating your manifest, you're simultaneously working on yourself. That's another thing that a lot of people forget about manifestation in the future and whatever. First of all, future is in your mind, okay? Past is in your mind. The only thing that we have right now is the present moment. Your manifestations only take time because you're always manifesting matter, okay? Matter is one of the densest energies that you can manifest from. So if you stop manifesting matter and you start correcting your healing or your internal framework, the matter is going to come even faster because you're no longer dealing with like the third dimensional illusion. You're working on a fourth and fifth dimensional aspect of yourself. All right. So it's really important right now to understand that you're getting what you want. You have it coming your way. And like when you're manifesting, every time you manifest something new, it's going to challenge you to recognize something in your subconscious. All right. And this is why we go through like a soul journey, a dark night of the soul, a profound awakening. The reason why these things happen or literally because you haven't recognized that you are whole, you are sufficient, you are complete in this moment, all right? So you need to be understanding that, hey, you have everything you want. Like, it may not be fully present in your reality at this moment. Maybe you want $1 million. Maybe you want to be on a vacation like I am right now. Maybe you want to have like the hubby. Maybe you want to have the baby. Maybe whatever. Who cares whatever it is that you want, okay? You need to really come down to this understanding that if you've hit this point of having like the lower end of the spectrum where you're not having high energy, pull back. It's okay to say pull back. I'm going to take some time for myself. I'm going to work on myself, because when I work on myself and I make a shift inside of myself, the manifestation is going to come through. If you were ultimately understanding truly 100% that you are God, you wouldn't need to manifest anything. And that's one of the most mind-blowing things about the law of attraction that a lot of people just don't want to believe, because it's so like against our nature, which is basically saying like, hey, like if you really want something, God doesn't need anything. God doesn't have to make a point to you. God doesn't have to like manifest, because God has everything, and there's nothing that could ever be created, because God is everything and flowing through everything that God couldn't have already, because he's already that thing, right? So you need to understand that if you're source, you're a creator, you're God, you need to be living in this space where you don't need to manifest anything. Manifestation is your trap. Manifestation is part of the illusion, all right? What you really want to do every time you manifest something is you just want to find what's inside of you that's not allowing you to say, I already have this. It's really that easy. All you have to do is put yourself in that position. Why don't I give myself this thing that I want? The next card is the counting coup, and it's 7. So when the counting coup comes up at 7, it's basically telling you, right now you really need to take a second to like recalibrate what you're doing, okay? Like there is a flaw in your manifestation. You maybe already made the flaw, like, and you're conscious of it. Maybe you realize you made a mistake a couple months ago, and now's the time where you gotta like start hustling to like fix that issue that you did. It's okay. One of the things, you know, if you're one of those people that's been sitting down trying to beat yourself up over the fact that like, oh my God, like, you know, I made this mistake or whatever, and it hasn't worked out for me, you have to trip and fall to understand where your true vibration is. So if you're beating yourself up over the past mistakes, let it go, because that's how you learned. Now, are you going to be a gangster and you're going to like get up and move and make your shit happen? Or are you going to sit there and wallow and like freak out like I should have done things differently? Don't get stuck in the past, all right? Even if that mistake already happened, it's okay. You can fix it. Like you can manifest anything, a correction real quick to like compensate for that. And the issue is only as big as like time itself, or the illusion of time, right? Like if the past is in your mind, the future is in your mind, the intensity of the issue that you're experiencing is also in your mind. If you stop focusing on matter, you're really going to understand where you messed up and where you're diverting your energy into, all right? So really pay attention to that. The next card that comes out says, if you focus on that, you're going to have contentment, okay? So you need to allow that magic that you're using to be applied wisely here. Find out where you messed up. If you already know where you messed up, change and find the true cause of why you're manifesting whatever it is that you're manifesting. You need to rebirth, letting go of some shit, whether it's letting go of these issues over here, letting go of your anger and your vanity and like the mistakes again that you're not letting yourself see, so that you can truly reach contentment and union, okay? You need to marry the internal and external realms so you can really fulfill yourself in a very positive way. The next card that comes out is the Warrior of Shields, okay? So the Warrior of Shields is somebody who, hey, very grounded, very good energy. Warrior of Shields is also tied to the Virgo energy. And this is one of the things from the people who usually associate themselves with the Warrior of Shields. You have the tendency of creating a self-fulfilling trap. You do really well for a while, and then you fall right back into the trap. Somebody calls you out, then you do really well again, and then you fall right back into the trap. You need to understand that you got to stop doing that shit, all right? Like, it's time for you. Your biggest trap is burning yourself out, okay? Let the universe work on your side. Let the universe help you get to the next level. If you really do trust in the universe and magic and the ability that you can manifest and transform and create anything that you want, you need to be able to trust, all right? And during this time where you're waiting for the magic to fully take its form, where did you mess up? If you messed up already or you're not sure yet, do some inner soul searching. Either way, doesn't matter which way it played out, you still have to do inner soul searching. If you want happiness, you still got to let some things die, okay? You got to change. You cannot have your cake and eat it too right now, okay? And if you really want to break some habits that you've been doing forever, literally, you got to trust the universe and take a break right now. That's straight up what's going on, okay? And then we read them sideways, we read them downwards, okay? Let's see what other messages behind here really fast. Magic and the universe are aligning themselves so that you can cure this issue of anger, loneliness, vanity inside of yourself, so that you can correct the issue that you were dealing with and you can break old habits. Death and transformation are happening to correct and let go of old beliefs and programmings that do not let you fully fulfill yourself in the present moment and enjoy the present moment to have contentment in your life. All right? So it's pretty clear. It doesn't matter which way I were to read these cards, they would still come out telling you the same thing over and over and over again. I'm going to put these on the side. The other thing that these cards over here are going to be explaining to you in just 1 second is the fact here, the Maiden of Blades. You're somebody who is very susceptible to the energies you surround yourself with, okay? So your friends, your family, like the place you live in, you cannot heal in the same environment. You cannot create in the same environment that caused your disease. You know who said that? Buddha, all right? So if you've been contemplating moving, if you've been contemplating not talking to somebody, if you've been contemplating making a major shift because you feel like you need to have that shift in your life, do it already. Who's stopping you from doing it other than yourself? You're going to come up with more excuses not to fulfill yourself? Fine, stay where you're at. Next week, when we find out where everybody who did their work ended up and where you're at because you're too afraid to make the leap, you're going to see how much you missed out on, all right? Right now, we're in this huge wave of magical energy. I mean, if you don't get your shit together right now, you ain't going to get it together in a while, okay? 4, honor. Do not be overzealous. Do not be, like, abrupt. Like, you can let go of things in your life without ever having to have an altercation. I drop friends real easy, okay? Once I see something super dark and shadowy that I know I don't want in my life, like, I will try to help you. Like, I'll point it out and I'll see what your reaction is. If your reaction is like, I don't have a problem, or like, whatever, it's not that big of a deal, like, I'll deal with it later, or your shadow response to some other degree, I sometimes will tell you, hey, I'm really busy. Other times I will strictly just disappear. All right. I will delete you off my Facebook. I will just, like, not answer your text messages. I just literally vanish from your life. That's it. Because I'm a controller of my reality. I have to be conscious of the fact that if I want to keep engaging with these people, then that's what I'm going to keep getting out of my manifestations. And I'm not going to do that to myself, right? It's really that easy. You don't have to tell everybody, I don't want to talk to you for X, Y, and Z reasons, or I can't hang out with you for X, Y, and Z reasons. You just stop interacting. Just stop putting your energy there. That's pretty much it. You know, you avoid the conflict and you live your life in the most authentic fashion possible. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And there's nothing that you can do that is always going to suffice you and the other person. Like, you're always going to seem evil, negative, or vibrationally out of alignment for another person's reality that isn't in alignment with yours, okay? So stop trying to be Mr. Nice Guy. On my TikTok the other day, I did a word origin TikTok, just basically telling you that what's the root origin of nice? Nice means stupid or ignorant. Stop being a nice guy. Stop being a nice healer. Like, stop being the nice person, because essentially what you're owning to is that you're a stupid person. Like, you're an ignorant person. When people use you and they do shit to you that didn't fly, who's to blame? The stupid person. You're the stupid one. So, put yourself in that position. Understand that you need to open up a higher sense of happy family. Happy family is coming up upside down. The Maiden of Blades is telling you she's got a lot of anger and she deals with her family stuff. Like, that's what's holding her back right now. Happy family. All right. Your family is your environment, how you interact with your environment. When I went to Sedona, I was hugging trees. Like, I have this one shirt that I swear to God I love so much. It's got a Basque witch. Like, it's like my tradition, my heritage, right? Because my family's from Spain and from Puerto Rico. So in Spain, we had the Basque witch trials, which is kind of like the burning of the witches and whatnot. And this shirt, I found it, haven't been able to find it, loved it. But when I went to Sedona, I wanted to hug the trees. I wanted to show them, hey, thank you for being alive. Like, nobody comes through this like hike and gives you a hug. I'm gonna give you a hug because you deserve it. You're a beautiful tree, right? And when I got back home, that shirt that I love so much was literally covered in sap. And I can't wear it anymore unless I'm just gonna wear it around the house for like junk stuff. But I understand that like everything is matter, right? Like, everything is temporary, everything has to change. I would have rather had the experience of saying like, I'm gonna change the way I interact with my soul family, which is the environment, Mother Earth. And I'm gonna give Mother Earth a hug. I'm gonna give my brother, the tree, a hug. And even though, like, hugging him, my shirt gets ruined, it's kind of like having a baby. You know what I mean? Sometimes that baby's so super delicious and then all of a sudden it just randomly vomits all over you, right? Like, it happens. Shit happens. Like, I'm not gonna let that throw me off. I had the moment. I experienced it. I knew what I needed in that moment, which is to give love to the trees and to the earth and to Sedona. Like, fuck it. It was worth it, right? Even though I may never be able to find this shirt again, it was worth it. Like, it all happened for a reason, right? So you need to allow yourself to really analyze where you're coming from with your abundance and your life and your environment and your family energies. That's really important right there. So for now, the Orchid Soul cards, all right? For these, I'm going to pull out just like my little book really fast just to make sure that I read them exactly as is. So this one right here is basically telling you that nothing gets accomplished overnight, all right? Sounds very similar to the last deck, okay? Nothing is accomplished overnight, all right? So if you persevere and you have a commitment to excellence, you will lead yourself to success, all right? Sometimes when you're going towards your goals, you take a moment to like sit and honor yourself and be in isolation. And it may seem like a sacrifice to some people, like you're withholding yourself from the world, but really it's just a moment for you to resharpen your skills, understand that you're an artisan at what you do, and it's well worth the sacrifice in this present moment. Like, you don't have anything you really need to worry about because you're in the flow. The second card here is Seven of Pentacles. We have a lot of pentacle cards here. Has to do with a lot of money, a lot of abundance. If you were picking the soul cards, you have a lot of abundance stuff going on right here. So this one is basically talking about a gardener leans upon his spade, taking a moment of contemplation as he gazes at his crops. His earthly past has made it mundane in certain moments of his life with daily work and tasks and routines, but he is always taking a step forward toward his larger goals, okay? Be patient and consistent with your efforts and you will bring in abundance at its proper time. All right, so there are two cards here talking about abundance coming and that you need to pace yourself. You need to understand that sometimes you have to sacrifice certain things about yourself to get to your goal, but it will happen because it's supposed to happen. Then we have the Page of Pentacles. This page is a young person who offers assistance in practical tasks and understandings. His loyal and trustworthiness are unsurpassed. The more responsibility you give him, the better for both of you. Mutual fruitfulness will be the reward. Okay, so we basically have three cards now telling you, yo, if you pick the Soul Orchid deck, like, you are straight up in the abundance zone. Like, you are manifesting so much abundance. Own it. Like, you deserve it. You've been working really hard for it, okay? So just remember to have perseverance. Keep taking steps towards those goals. If you have to sacrifice time from hanging out with people, if you have to lose a little bit of sleep, if you have to do something that's uncomfortable for you, do it. I'm definitely doing this. Like, going through this, like, I picked this deck right here, but going through this, like, I decided I wanted to make another shift in my business and my career. And it's a really, really, really big shift. Like, it's the biggest shift I've ever done, probably ever. And it's scary because it's totally new territory for me. But I know that I had to do small, consistent steps. I need to change my habits. I need to change certain things inside of me, how I do certain things, to get to the next level and really appreciate the shift that I'm looking for, okay? So then again, we come here, 5 of Pentacles. And it says, 2 beggars struggle through a blizzard, and they have a sanctuary very close at hand. Their prayers will be answered only when they break free of self-pity. Whoa. So powerful right now. Now, this lately, when I got here to Mackinac Island, I pulled out 3 cards from this deck, okay? And the first thing that they said to me, because I asked, what am I supposed to be doing while I'm here? And they said, peace, peace, peace. I only pulled out 3 cards. All 3 cards talked about peace. Like, you're supposed to be here enjoying the fact that you're at peace. No matter what else is going on in the world, hold on to the peace that you're experiencing here right now. And while I've been here, like, my zodiac, the last week when I was getting ready to kind of like just come here, was like, hey, Aries, you deserve what you're going through right now. Like, you've worked really, really hard for it. You're the only person that doesn't see yourself as deserving of this. Like, when are you going to say that it's time for you to be deserving of what's going on in your life, right? And that's what been my thing here. Like, and a lot of you who picked this out, the abundance, dude, like, you got this shit. Don't stop doing whatever it is that you're doing. Like, keep working towards it. You're secured your abundance if you continue to improve yourself, transform, right? Make shifts. We had the moon, we had the death, and we had fool, and these 3 cards, okay? So, like, all those cards, if we were to even line them up with the Native American deck, very powerful energies that we still could be utilizing to help us grow, right? So you need to be able to say, like, I deserve what I'm going for, what I'm manifesting, what I'm creating, what I want. I deserve it for whatever reason. Maybe you're a really great person. Maybe you sacrificed a lot of yourself for other people. Whatever it is, you deserve it. Let yourself embrace that truth and say, okay, I deserve it. I'm going to let it happen, right? I'm going to keep going towards it. Even if my family doesn't believe in me, even if people think I'm not being humble, keep going for it. It's your reality. Nobody else is going to be living that reality other than you, okay? All right. So then here we have 6 of Pentacles. A wealthy merchant distributes coins to beggars at his feet. The scales of balance are the things that he holds in his hands, basically saying nothing comes for free, okay? This card is the one that you really want to pay attention to, which is linked to this card right here in the Major Arcana, okay? In the Major deck. This is basically saying that even though you have this really dope positive energy for your abundance and things are coming your way and you don't have to struggle as much and you need to allow yourself to understand that you deserve this, don't lose track, very similar to the Native American deck, of like why you're manifesting this. Are you manifesting this just strictly because you need self-recognition? Are you manifesting this because you're always manifesting from lack and you just, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I gotta make sure I manifest this or else I'm fucked, right? Like, where are you at with this vibration? Like, why are you actually manifesting this abundance? You already have it. Don't worry about it. That's not the problem. It's like, why are you actually manifesting this? If you actually put yourself in that position of recognizing where this is actually coming from, your drive, you're going to understand better why it is that you're doing what you're doing and what it is that you want, right? And why it is that you want to do what you want to do. Me, personally, I have always lived in big cities, right? And most recently, I was like, I want to create this and this and this and this and this and this. But really, I don't feel like I belong in a big city anymore. Like, I just don't. Like, I need to find somewhere where I'm like off the grid or far away, where I can really just be away from people because of all the empathic stress being a high conscious person in my environment. So it was kind of like very like, whoa, like my goals, what I want and what I know I deserve is slightly clashing with what I've always done, right? What I actually want is a big piece of land where I can help people, right? And my thing has been like, gotta live in a city, which is hard to make that happen. So I haven't been able to manifest what I want because I refuse to walk away from the city, right? Because I've always been a city boy. And it's kind of like, okay, do you want to grow or do you not want to grow? Like, where is this really coming from? Where are your vein points? What's the vanity? My vanity is I just gotta live in a city, right? I'm choosing to walk away from that. And it's giving me a bigger perspective as to like why I'm doing things and why I want to make it happen. There's nothing wrong with that. Six of Wands is another really great piece of energy. Six of Wands is telling you, yo, you got what you need, all right? Like everything you need is on its way. You already won, okay? When I came back from Sedona, the Six of Wands was another card that came out, okay? It was like one of the first cards that came out. And it's basically telling you, yo, like you got this. Like you came back from whatever the Lion's Gate was trying to offer you, you grabbed it, you brought it back here. It's yours. Like you won the battle. That's not the problem at all. Is you understanding that like now you gotta relax. Now you gotta put yourself in that zone of like saying, okay, I got this. Let me just breathe for a second. I deserve to breathe. I deserved to get the winning aspect in my reality because I make small, consistent steps. And I understood that like everything's going to be closer to my goal and I'm not going to burn myself out. And I'm going to connect with people who are worthy, who are interested in the same goal. I'm going to give back to the community. I know I completely deserve all of this. I deserve to relax, okay? And while I'm relaxing, like, why the fuck did I actually do all this right here? Like, I know I got it, but what was the main reason why I did it? Let me refine why it is that I'm doing this, okay? So then when you put that energy out there, you're like, whoa, like, holy crap, like, you're feeling even more safe. Lots of security right here, okay, you guys? So, like, don't fall into any self-inflicted traps. Nine of Pentacles. A noble woman finds her richness in her inner life, all right? She chooses independence as her reward for her sacrifice for society, and her only friends are nature and the birds themselves. Whoa, okay? You deserve to be at peace in your reality because you've been doing what you need to do consistently to get to your goal. Hasn't probably been easy, but you putting in that effort day after day, using your resources, really staying focused, understanding that you deserve what you need, and also allowing yourself to rest. Right now, everyone who picked this deck is your vacation time, girl. Like, you need to sit down and be like, yo, it's all happening. Let me take a breather. Let me go to like Mackinac Island, for instance. Like, you know what I mean? Like, go to the woods if you can't go for an extended vacation. You need to at least pamper yourself. Buy yourself a freaking stone that says, yo, you've been on lock, mastering your energy. That's what I like to do. When I make a major shift in my reality and I make a shift that's like, whoa, holy shit, like I can't believe I actually made this happen, I buy myself something. When I was in Sedona, I bought myself something. When I came back from climbing the four vortexes and, you know, being in that space and saying like, whoa, I did something that really pushed me out of my comfort zone. That was definitely dangerous, that not everybody could have done. And I came back from it, rebirth. I'm a new person. Like, holy crap, let me buy myself a stone. All right, it doesn't have to be like a $400 piece of rock, you know, like whatever. It can easily be like $10. But if you've gone to a place and you're like, yo, I really like this stone, and I just made this breakthrough in my own energy where I know everything's coming my way, buy it for yourself and know that the universe is going to go ahead and replenish that for you. That's pretty much what it is. Like, you deserve it. You deserve it. The only person that's not allowing themselves to enjoy that moment of peace and clarity is you. Okay, so put yourself in that position. Judgment is the next card that comes out. Judgment is telling you that this was it, all right? The ultimate ascension move that you could have done right now is this right here, okay? So you might as well be enjoying it. If you're already on vacation or you're planning on going on vacation later this week, hey, hook it up. Be on your Zen space. Own it. Like, you deserve it. You want it, okay? That's yours. Be happy with that. And don't let anyone take that away from you. Ditch people who are negative, all right? The next card that comes out is the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords says, like, a knight is adorned at his tomb with swords that are hung nearby in honor of his lifetime and victorious endeavors. He is at rest now and will not fight anymore. This scene is a strife that has ended permanently. The knight is honorably released from the past and can go in peace. All right. So when I told you, hey, when I got here, I asked them what I should be focusing on. They're like, yo, peace. All right. They're like, yo, peace right there. All right. And they were also like, yo, peace. All right. These cards were the cards that literally came out for me when I first got here. It was all about peace, being at peace with yourself. You owe it to yourself. Let this moment right now be your rebirthing period. All right. You have made major shifts, dude. Like, kudos to you for making that happen and understanding that you deserve it, and taking some time to do some inner reflection to make sure that you're not, coming from this shitty, vain space or a place that, needs some corrections. You already know you got what you wanted. You're just doing small steps to make sure that it comes through. This is the Judgment. This is coming from the Lion's Gate. This is saying, like, you picked this reality. It was already determined that you were going to be here right now. Enjoy your solitude. Give yourself the opportunity to be at peace with yourself and let things die that no longer serve you. All right. So then here we have your major card that you really need to pay attention to is the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords tells you some suffering can only be moved through, not avoided or denied. Only the heart knows when it's time to pull the swords out and begin again. Let your fears fall away and give sorrow to where it's due. Consider carefully before you assign any blame. It is unlikely you're seeing the situation clearly. All right. This card also had come up when we came back from Sedona. When I came back from Sedona, this was one of the major cards that had come out in the Patreon chakra release that I was reading for you guys on the second tarot reading. So here again, it's still here. All right. If you ended up picking up the gold cards when I came back from Sedona, then and you remember this heart card, and I don't remember if you guys can see it. Remember that card? It looked a little bit different from my other deck, but it's the same as that card. It means you need to let go of some soul flame, twin flame bullshit that's going on. If you're not like at beef, at war with your soul flame or your twin flame or whatever, like, okay, let that go. But if you're still holding on to some negativity towards your twin flame, it's time for you to sit down with yourself and be like, yo, I love this person because they came to my life to have this sort of like expansive experience with me. Okay. And then forgive them for whatever's going on. You cannot deny it. You cannot blame them because you were both part of like that interaction. Also, many people right now are running into their soul mates. We have a billion different kinds of soulmates, all right? Like, there's a ton of them. And when we run into them, we feel like this undeniable draw connection that you could be with that person, or you could like make something huge happen. You need to understand that your soulmate, if you've come into contact with this person, may not be ready to like embark on that soul journey with you, however the fuck it goes out. Okay, like, it might be friends, it might be romantic, it might be as coworkers, it might just be like a quick vacation together. Like, however it's supposed to play out, right now is not the time for that, okay? Because they're dealing with whatever they're dealing with, and obviously you are too. Okay, so the cards sometimes speak in one direction, but everything's polaric. If your soulmate's not in alignment with you for whatever reason, you are not in alignment with your soulmate for whatever reason, even though you guys have come together and connected and been able to say like, hey, we're going to have like a higher experience to some degree. Like, it is not the time or the place to focus on anything else other than healing yourself. All right. So if you're dealing with a soul flame or a soulmate that's not in alignment with like your experiences right now, send them love, send them care. Understand that they will find their way whenever they want to find their way, however it is that they want to find their way, and just have respect for their journey. Like, don't have anything else attached to it. Like, let that shit go. If you're dealing with like your twin flame, understand that, you know, things had to happen to get you to this reading, okay? You wouldn't be at this reading right now unless you had to deal, like you had dealt with that, right? Because obviously if you're still dealing with your twin flame, you want to be here knowing about how you need to forgive your twin flame. It's pretty obvious and clear. This energy also doesn't have to do only with your twin flame, your soulmate, you know, soul family even. Like, you might have run into soul family and you're realizing some things have to change or be awakened or something. That energy is still associated to you, okay? Sometimes you don't give yourself credit or you don't honor yourself enough to be everything that you are and everything that you know that you deserve, right? This is definitely one of those things that I've realized on this vacation, okay? And I'll give you like a quick recap on my August. I went to Sedona, manifested that real quick, real smooth, you know, had very powerful lessons that I had to grow from. Owning my own power, understanding my environment is under my control perpetually. I was back home for literally a week before I was told, hey, we're going to go on another vacation, by the way, and we're going to go for an X amount of time. And I was like, whoa, but I just got home and I only have a week to get ready. Do I deserve this? I don't know. Is this being humble? I don't know. Right? And having that moment of like being like, whoa, that's me saying that I don't really love myself like that. Like, why would I not deserve to treat myself, right? Why would I not deserve all the hard work that I put into my reality, knowing that I came back from Sedona having the Six of Wands? Why would I not want to go on vacation and treat myself and own that if that's the ultimate judgment and I'm supposed to be in this alignment of peace? Why? Why will I not let myself enjoy this? That's a pain. That's a sword that needs to come out of the heart. All right? That's what I had to learn here. And that's why I was told originally, find peace when you're here. Like, find peace. Know that this is supposed to be happening. Know that you're a good person. Know that this is what your life's supposed to be. The only person that's not okay with it is you, Axel. Like, you feel like you're not being humble by having this experience. But when are you ever going to have an experience like this if you've been trying to manifest this experience for such a long time anyway? If not now, when? When you're 60? When you're dead? When you're in the ethers and you're looking back and you're like, damn, I should have done it, right? And this is the other thing I really want to share with you guys. Like, I have lately been talking to so many people who are like 60, 70, 80, 90, right? Plus years. And they all come back telling you the same thing. Like, if you want to do it, go do it now. Like, forget the money. Like, forget whatever. Like, you have to have the experience because you don't want to be that person who's 90 saying like, I should have done that when I was 20, or I should have done that when I was 30, or I should have done that, but I didn't. Man, what would have played out if I did it? That's worse than actually saying like, you know, I got to deal with some shit while I'm still living, right? Like, you really need to put your priorities in check and allow yourself to understand like you deserve whatever it is that you want. And what you want may not always be what you thought you wanted. And what you want, when you finally realize that it's not what you've always wanted, is going to be a hard pill to swallow. Because it might seem like a totally different, foreign version of yourself that you don't really recognize. Because it's so new. And that's one of the hard things that comes out with pulling out these swords. It's like saying like, whoa, like, where did this all truly come from? That's the shift that like, I'm healing myself, making sure that I'm covering all my bases so that I can make a major shift in my reality, right? When I heal myself, I manifest the correction outside because I have everything that I want, right? So like, if you're on vacation like I am, you know, you deserve this, right? Pull one of those swords out. If you're on vacation, you're like, what about the money? Okay. pull that sword out. Like, thank you, money, for allowing me to be here and whatever experience that I'm having. And I'm going to allow that to just take care of itself. Like, the universe provides for me, right? I've worked really hard. It's coming my way anyway. I know I won. Like, what the fuck am I freaking out about? Right? That's where you need to be at. That is your powerful center. That is where you are being divinely called. So this is our Tarot Tuesday, and I hope it was very helpful for you. I know I give a lot of lessons in there. I channel sometimes, and the cards basically speak through me. So don't forget to give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment Ascension below if this really, really resonates with you. I really want to hear that. And of course, share this with as many people as you can. Like, repost this on your Instagram, repost this on your Facebook, hashtag it Antojai, or tag me at Antojai. Because when you share these experiences, you're basically telling people through these readings, like today's reading, love yourself. If they ended up needing a message and they ended up picking this deck, then okay, love yourself. Even if somebody watches this 20 years down the road and they get this same message, it's very so relevant because time and space doesn't exist. And we each live at different dimensional realities within Earth. All right, so for those of you who are able to perceive this message, especially the soul cards, the Orchid soul cards, you guys are really vibrating in a fifth dimensional energy. You're letting go of a lot of karma at the fifth dimension, and you're starting to step closer into the sixth dimension. Ascension itself is very powerful stuff. Very, very powerful stuff, okay? And then if you've picked the Native American deck, you guys are more so at a 4D, 5D level right now with the things that you're doing because you've only been holding yourself back. Get over it. Move those things out of the way. You're going to get everything that you want. Sending you all my love. I will catch you later.